Hi, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. I do thank you for tuning in, and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this evening. Now, yes, we are going to get right back into No Man Can Hinder Me. Here on Poem Praise 2, we're going to get into chapter 2, which is entitled My Mentors. Okay? So without further ado, chapter 2 goes like this. Now, my father and grandfather, Alfred, were my examples of strong, responsible manhood. Edwin Street was an oasis in the middle of an area populated by hostile whites. Caution was my companion on the way home to school and to my newspaper delivery route. One day I was accosted by a large teenage white bully who demanded to know what business a nigger had delivering papers in a white neighborhood. I knew I would have to fight. I was only 10 or 11 years old, so I asked the bully to send out his brother, who was about my age, to fight for the family racial honor. My father had taught me to box, and using my advantage as a southpaw, left-handed, I proceeded to beat the Caucasian out of the little brother. His mother, hearing the fray, grabbed an umbrella and stormed outside, beating me on the head, swearing and talking about my ancestry in the most vulgar way. Bleeding, I went home to tell my father, who raced to the offending house and challenged everybody to come outside. The last I heard, the whole family packed up and moved to parts unknown. Ridge Avenue, a hodgepodge of small businesses, bordered my neighborhood and extended all the way to the northern suburbs of the city. The Ridge Ave Theater, a segregated movie house, was within walking distance of my house. Black people sat on the left and white people sat on the right. Let me get that right. Black people sat on the left and the white people sat on the right, where they had a clear view of the screen. Being a bit of a rebel, I decided one day to sit on the white side. The manager was summoned, and he roughly lifted me by my shirt collar and planted me in a seat on the black side. When grandfather Alfred came home from work and heard the story, he led a couple of his moving helpers around the corner to the movie house. Grandfather was a piano mover. He could lift one end of the instrument while it took two men to grasp the other side. Legend has it that grandfather was so strong, he once knocked a horse down with a single blow. Grandfather entered the theater and brushed past the cashier without pain as she screamed for help. When the manager rushed out of his office, grandfather, without a word, grabbed the startled white man by the collar and slammed him up against the wall so hard plaster fell like winter snow. "Is this the man?" grandfather demanded. "Yes, sir," I replied. "My grandson can sit anywhere he chooses. Do you understand?" My grandfather hissed through clenched teeth. His grip tightened around the man's collar. "Yes, sir," the frightened manager replied. And I sat wherever I chose from that day forward, with later apologies to Dr. Martin Luther King. Nobody had come along at that time to teach grandfather Alfred the righteousness of non-violence. These and many other incidents of protection served to create a shield around my ego, warding off many racist assaults in my early school life. And that does complete chapter 2 here on Poem Praise 2. That completes chapter 2. So stay tuned to chapter 3 here on Poem Praise 2, entitled My Siblings. It be it thy will. I'll talk with you soon. Until then, take care of yourself, okay? Later, y'all.